Welcome to Sunday. Good morning. Well, if you don't know me, hello, my name is Heather. I'm the music director here at the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. And I've got Steven here on the drums with me. All right, and as living expressions of spirit, let's sing together. God will make us spiritual giants. God will make of us spiritual giants. God will make of us spiritual giants. Can you feel the power moving? Can you feel the power moving? Now is the acceptable time. Now is the acceptable time. Very nice. God will make of us spiritual giants. God will make of us spiritual giants. Can you feel the power moving? Can you feel the power moving? Now is the acceptable time. Now is the acceptable time. Very nice. Now, we're split into 3 sections in the room. Oh, yes. We have 3 verses, and now you know all 3 of them, yes? So it's going to go like this. Right side of the room, you're going to go, God will make of us spiritual giants. Over and over. Make of us spiritual giants. Keep going. Middle, can you feel the power moving? Can you feel the power moving? Now is the acceptable time. Now is the acceptable. Woo! God will make of us spiritual giants. God will make of us spiritual giants. Get ready to come back together. Here we go. God will make of us spiritual giants. God will make of us spiritual giants. Can you feel the power moving? Can you feel the power moving? Now is the acceptable time. Now is the acceptable time. Look at you guys go. Yeah.
Thank you, Heather and Stephen. Good morning. My name is Donna Schaffer, and I am your trustee on duty today. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and our practitioners, I am privileged to welcome you to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are, and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you are meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action every day in every way. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. On the back of our programs, you will find our Declaration of Principles. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligent power expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete, and so it is. So today, do we have any first-timers here? Okay. All right, I guess you all get to stay seated. We would like to thank all of the people that make this Sunday celebration possible. And first of all, that is all of you who are sitting in those chairs and being part of this service. If you weren't here, it wouldn't be the same. And thank you to the ones who make sure everything is set up and in place for this gathering. Now I want you to direct your attention to the announcements that are in your bulletin. And now I would like to call the president of our Board of Trustees, David Berk. He has an exciting announcement for us. Thank you.
Why, thank you. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone here. We came up with a vision statement, we came up with spiritual mind treatment, and you all participated. And it is a positive. Judy is coming. At this point, it's a verbal confirmation. I'm trying to figure out how to do a signed PDF so we could both sign it and make it official. But she said yes, and there's a couple of things I want to tell you about. She's not going to start her first week here until November 9th. And that's because she has other obligations that she has to finish, and that was part of her negotiation. And we said, fine, you know, if we got you, we got you. A couple of weeks doesn't hurt anything. She's going to be coming for 2 Sundays between now and November 9th. She's still working with her calendar to try to figure that out when she's going to be here. That was our negotiation point. If we had to wait 3 months, we definitely wanted to see her before then, and she agreed. And so as soon as that becomes official, I will let you know. But she's going to be here. So you all did a great job. I also want to thank the search committee of Amy and Rosie and Jan and Don Green. There was a lot of help there. Yeah, give them a big hand. There was a lot of help there. I also want to say thank you to the Board of Trustees, who met on very short notice to work out the negotiations and get the information back to Judy. So let's have a hand for the Board of Trustees too. But it's really everyone in the seats that read the spiritual mind treatment on their fridge or their bathroom mirror, and we did the visioning statement every week, and that is a massive demonstration of what the power of positive thinking and many people on the same page doing. So that was wonderful. It was relatively effortless and easy, and it took time, but it was relatively smooth. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you, and is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Louise, and I am your practitioner today, and I'm going to light the service candle, knowing that we are each the light. We each have a light within that we carry with us, and that we send out to everybody that comes in contact with us. So get comfortable and just know there is one power, one presence, one eternal love in the universe, and it is God. God is all there is. God is the goodness that surrounds everyone and everything. And I know we are each a glorious expression of God, of this eternal and everlasting love. And I invite you to lean into this greatness, this power, this presence, this everlasting love right where you are. And I accept for each of us that our divine nature is a perfect reflection of the ever unfolding wonderfulness of life. And I fully accept this truth for every person here. I affirm well-being for all of us today, in all ways, mind, body, and soul. I know that there are blessings for each person here and those who cannot be here. And I know that this service is unfolding perfectly in the mind of God, as it is meant to be. And so it is. And just a little reminder, the practitioners are the praying arm of the church. So if you have prayer or you would like prayer for someone, please fill out a card and put it in the box, and we will pray for you this week. So my reading today is from the July 2026 Science of Mind magazine under the heading of Personal Affirmations. It's titled Nothing to be Healed. It's written by Louise. Magnificent. As the divine personified, you are a magnificent being just as you, right in this moment. Let your brilliant light shine, knowing you are a gift to the world. And I affirm for you, I share my gifts with the world, knowing that I am a magnificent expression of the divine. Delight. To paraphrase Psalm 118, verse 24, this is the day the divine has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Every moment is sacred, and we can find delight wherever we are, whether it's in the sound of a bird, the touch of a hand, the scent of a flower, or the sight of a loved one. And today, I find delight wherever we go. I rest in the goodness of spirit, knowing this day is sacred. This moment is holy. Compassion. Holmes wrote, "Compassion is the most gentle of all human virtues, for it is the outpouring of the divine givingness through all." Compassion calls us to practice loving kindness for ourselves and for others, to be kind for the sake of being kind. I honor everyone I meet as a spark of the divine. I recognize that what affects one of us, it affects all of humanity. Don't start laughing. Divine inclusion. We cannot exclude anything from a divine inclusion, Holmes wrote. There is no experience, no idea, no person, no thought that is not divine. What would happen if we truly knew everyone we meet is this personification of the divine? And the affirmation is, I see the divinity in everyone I meet. I remember that there is no other. There is only God. And so it is. And I take the service candle and hold the high watch for you.
This is a song that I wrote in 2025, just around April of last year. It's a song about self-limiting beliefs. And when you get done with those self-limiting beliefs,
Every word
your turn now. Thank you, Namaste.
That was so perfect. So perfect. Uh-oh. Great minds.
What did we do?
What did you do? What did I do? Okay, now I have, oh, that does not work at all. Okay. You know, as I get older, my eyesight also gets older. And when I opened it just now, it had like 5 pages all in one. Like, that's not going to work. Heather, how many voices do we have in our head? She just talked about a lot of them. How many voices do you have in your head? Those voices that tell you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, not kind enough. How many voices do we have in our head that holler opinions, at us, that holler the other possibilities that are out there that we're not taking advantage of, that holler warnings at us, fears and hopes. Have you ever noticed that those voices seem to wake up before you do? Reverend Donna, I'm going to botch your quote here, but she said a few years ago, or last year or something, that your mind sits over on the headboard above you and stares. And then you open your eyes and it says, good, you're awake. Sorry I botched it, Donna, but it was something like that. Before our feet even hit the floor, our voices start talking to us. One voice says, get up, you have a lot to do today. Another voice says, no, you don't have to get up, take it easy. Another voice says, maybe today something horrible will happen, something will go wrong. And another voice will say, oh, well, maybe something beautiful will happen today. Somewhere in the background, another voice says, could everyone please be quiet for 5 minutes? Anybody else? Am I the only one? Okay, good. So that's the voice we probably need to listen to most. The one that says, just calm down, be still. We live with a remarkable amount of internal conversations within us. Some of it's practical. Some of them are emotional. Some come from memory. Some from fear. Most of it is shaped, at least in part, by conditioning, by our upbringing. But occasionally, when we quiet those voices, we hear something else. Something quieter, something deeper, something that doesn't sound like the other voices at all. So how do we know which ones to trust? How do we distinguish the voice of fear from the voice of love, the voice of ego from the voice of spirit, the voice that wants to keep us safe, as opposed to the voice who wants us to grow? That's where our theme this morning comes from. Open at the top, courage at the center. Open at the top describes a willingness to remain receptive to something greater than our limited human perspective. It means I don't assume that what I see, what I know, or what I currently believe is the whole story. It means, back up, Thomas Troward, who is a great influencer of science of mind before the internet, says, my mind is a center of divine operation. So when we remain open to divine intelligence and open to intuition, inspiration, open to new possibilities, we are connected to that divine oneness. Ernest Holmes taught that there is a power of good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. There's something greater than the personality I call me, greater than my history, greater than my fears and mistakes, greater than the opinions I have accumulated through the years. And that presence is not somewhere far away. It is within us. It is expressing through us. So being open at the top is really an act of spiritual humility. It says, I don't have to know everything. I don't have to control everything. I don't have to figure everything out before I take the next step or the next nap. I can listen. And here's the interesting thing. When we open ourselves to Spirit, we don't suddenly have an empty mind. The voices don't go away. They're all still there. Have you seen the movie Inside Out? An animated cartoon. So Inside Out, if you have not, just a little reminder, it's animated. It's about a little girl named Riley who has all these personalities within her. And these personalities are Joy. Joy is dressed in all yellow. She's got blue hair. She's sassy. She's always exuberant, happy. Then there's Sadness. Sadness is a little blue girl with blue hair and a white turtleneck, and her posture is very droopy. Then there's Anger. Anger is red. He's angry. His hair will flame when he gets really angry. There's Fear. Fear is tall and purple with big bugged eyes. And he's always scared, always nervous. And there's Disgust. Seriously, really. So all these characters live within Riley's head. It's funny because the first time I watched this movie with my grandchildren in 2015, it brought me back to 1999 when I was doing my undergrad. I was in a creative writing class and I wrote a play called Prize Fight. It had every character in my head. Why I didn't take it to Pixar then, I don't know. It's like bottled water, I mean, it was here. And I put it down on paper and Pixar ran with it. So in my play, there was Bill. He was the businessman, because I own my own business. It's all based on my head. Bill was the businessman, because I ran my own business. And I had to be professional at all times. Catherine was the classy woman wannabe that was in my head. Roseanne, guess where I got her, was an unapologetic, over-opinionated slob. There's a part of her in all of us, at least for me. And Shirley, the wounded inner child. They were all in a boxing ring with boxing gloves, vying for the attention of their person. The characters were all based on me. There was one gatekeeper that presided over all of them. I called her Goldie. Goldie was my ego, is my ego. Goldie comes from a place of fear, anxiety, self-doubt. She's always ready with an opinion, a warning, or a worst-case scenario. So when I watched Inside Out, I really did think, oh, well, Pixar read my play. They just had a much bigger budget and better animators. But what I loved about Inside Out is that it didn't make the emotions villains. None of them are evil in our heads. They all have purpose. They were trying to help Riley navigate her life. Goldie was trying to help me. And this is important for our spiritual lives as well. The voices inside of us are not necessarily bad voices. Many of them develop for good reasons. Goldie came into my life when I was very, very young, living in an alcoholic and dysfunctional family. Please know, I'm not throwing my family under the bus. My parents did everything they could with the knowledge and the wisdom they had at that time. I wouldn't change them for the world. But I was a timid child. And fear was inside of me, always. I carried fear with me. And Goldie learned to pay attention. Goldie learned to anticipate. She learned how to read rooms. She learned to watch for what might go wrong. She protected me. For a long time, she was doing exactly what I allowed her to do. She kept me safe. But what protects us in one chapter of our lives limits us in another. So the problem isn't that these voices exist. The problem is that we often give them the steering wheel. Wayne Dyer said that one of the principles we can adopt is having a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. Goldie was attached to everything, to old beliefs, to old habits, to old ways of thinking. There is a Buddhist teaching that says that attachment is the root of all suffering. Not simply attachment to things, but attachment to our expectations, our stories, our insistence that life unfold the way we think it should. Remember Shel Silverstein that I read a couple weeks ago about God's wheel? So God offers the speaker in this poem, very small poem, the opportunity to steer the world. And the speaker immediately starts asking, how much will I get paid? When is lunch? And when can I quit? Finally, God says, give me back the wheel. I don't think you're quite ready yet. That's the lesson in that little short poem. Sometimes, though, we say that we want Spirit to drive. What do? We have Spirit sit over in the passenger seat, and we want Spirit to tell us that we're doing it right. What if we let Spirit sit in the driver's seat, though? These voices in our head, especially my Goldie, always said, be careful. That's what fear says, be careful. Love says, be present. Fear says, what if something goes wrong? Love says, what if something beautiful happens? Fear says, don't take that chance. Love says, listen. Fear wants certainty. Love asks for trust. And that is where courage enters the picture. Courage at the center. If open at the top means being receptive to Spirit, then courage at the center means having the willingness to act on what we hear. Because being open isn't enough. We need to be silent and to listen. We can pray. We can meditate. We can just sit in silence. We can walk. We can breathe. We can contemplate. Or as our Reverend Donna from Unity said last week, we could sit and watch outside. I watch a blooming Mexican bird of paradise right out my window and watch it sway. So we get present with what's going on around us and in our heads. Eventually, though, when we listen, Spirit says, what are you going to do with what you just heard? And that requires courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is what happens when love becomes more important than fear. Several years ago, I think it was 2023, I took a road trip by myself. 5,000 miles from here to a friend in Texas, on to Florida, to the south of Florida to visit my son and daughter-in-law, up to South Carolina, then to New York and Pennsylvania, back to South Carolina, across to Missouri, and finally back here to Arizona. Every state in between. It was an extraordinary trip. But before I left, there was a problem. and it was called Goldie. Goldie had a lot to say. Goldie said, what if something happens? What if you get lost? What if your car breaks down? Goldie had apparently prepared an entire dissertation titled Everything That Could Possibly Go Wrong Will. And I realized something. The road trip itself wasn't the problem. It was the mindset that I was going on this road trip with. I knew that if I pulled out of the garage in fear, I would carry that fear with me, and something would go wrong. So I stopped, and I let Spirit move in. It was funny, coincidentally, about a week, my fear happened about a month or 2 weeks before I left. The Sunday before I left, Reverend Donna talked about take the journey anyway. I sat here and go, oh my God, she's reading Pixar, she's reading my mind. So the fear did not magically go away. It became smaller though, because another voice entered the conversation. A quieter voice, a steadier voice, a voice that said, you are capable, you are supported, you are not alone. That voice did not give me a guarantee that things would not go wrong. It gave me something more useful. It gave me the courage to go anyway. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, courage has power and magic in it. And I'll tell you what, that trip had magic for me. Nothing went wrong. The sun was out from here to Florida every day. And by the way, I actually delayed the trip by a day because a snowstorm passed through Texas. I passed so many 18-wheelers in the middle of the road, turned over. But my journey was beautiful. It was one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. I didn't get lost. I didn't break down in 5,000 miles. It was sheer awe. So if we have all these voices inside us, how do we know which one is Spirit? How do we know whether something is intuition or fear? How do we know whether we're being guided or simply reacting? I don't think there's a single formula, but I do have 3 steps, 3 questions that we can ask ourselves. First, does the voice come from fear or love? Fear contracts, love expands, and invites us to become more fully ourselves. Fear says, hide, be safe. Love says, show up. Fear asks, what could go wrong? Love asks, what is possible? It doesn't mean every uncomfortable thought is fear. Spirit may ask us to do something very difficult. Spirit may ask us to have a conversation we've been avoiding, or to apologize, or to leave something behind, or discover something new. So the test isn't, does this feel uncomfortable or comfortable? The test is, does this move me toward greater love, greater truth, and greater wholeness? Second, does the voice create panic or clarity? Fear is usually in a hurry. Ever notice that? Fear says you have to decide right now. You have to fix this. You have to know, and you have to make sure. I deleted the words have to and should from my vocabulary in 1995 after I found Science of Mind. I quit shoulding myself because should usually comes from fear, guilt, obligation, or somebody else's expectation of you. Spirit rarely says you should. Spirit is more likely to say what feels true to you. Spirit often creates clarity, not necessarily certainty, but clarity. And there is a difference. Sometimes the guidance from Spirit is take the next step. Not take the next 10 steps, not the next 10 years, just the next step. Sometimes we want Spirit to give us the whole plan. We want to know how everything will turn out before we're willing to move. But Spirit doesn't always give us a roadmap. Sometimes we get only a nudge, a quiet sense that says, you got this. Third, does it make me more loving? This may be the most important question. Does this choice make me more compassionate, more honest, more forgiving, more courageous, more connected, more willing to see the humanity in another person? Or does it make me feel smaller, judgmental, defensive, afraid? Ram Dass says, through an open heart, one hears the universe. And perhaps that is another way of understanding open at the top, courage at the center. We become receptive not only by opening the mind, but by opening the heart. Because Spirit doesn't usually compete with the noise. Spirit whispers. If inside every voice is inside of us, every voice is shouting, we may not hear that whisper. We have to become still enough to recognize it. That is why prayer and meditation, silence, contemplation, walking, breathing, whatever brings us to stillness matters. These aren't ways of escaping life. They are ways of becoming more fully aware of life, more aware of Spirit, more aware of ourselves, capital S, self. We create space, we listen, and we become receptive. And then we learn to discern. Thomas Trord taught that the individual mind is not separate from the universal mind. We are, in a sense, points through which divine intelligence expresses itself. Think about what that means. There is a wisdom available to us that is greater than our conditional thinking. We don't have to manufacture every answer. We can be receptive to what is already present. That is what it means to be open at the top. So let's go back to inside out. Imagine all those characters inside your head. Fear has something to say. Anger has something to say. Sadness, joy, all of them have something to say. And for me, Goldie, oh my God, Goldie definitely has something to say. But here's the spiritual practice. We don't have to eliminate them. We simply have to stop assuming that every voice deserves control. They don't get to drive. When I became aware of Goldie and the limiting power I was allowing her to have over me, I literally told her, Goldie, get to the back of my mind and shut up. And stay there until I call you forward. Kind of like when you get an earworm, you holler stop in your head. A song that repeats over and over again, just yelling stop and breaking that loop sometimes makes it go away. And that's what I did with Goldie. Of course, I hollered them quietly so my kids wouldn't put me in a home. But when Goldie started her what if, I interrupted her pattern enough to ask her to take a seat in the back of my mind. Of course, I had to ask her several times, sometimes, repeat it over and over, go take a seat. But eventually she quieted, and I began listening to another voice, a voice of discernment, the voice of Spirit. Being open at top means being willing to listen. Courage at the center means willingness to trust what we hear. Spirit doesn't force the other voices out. Fear can still speak. Worry can still speak. Ego can still reach for the wheel, and spirit waits. Love never forces itself. We decide, we choose, we become conscious. And then with the courage of the center, we can loosen our grip on the wheel and say, okay, Spirit, you drive. That isn't giving up our power. It is recognizing where our power comes from. We don't have to know every turn. We don't have to see the entire road. We only have to remain open enough to listen and courage enough to take the next step. To be open at the top is to say, Spirit, I'm listening. Show me what I cannot see. Reveal what I need to know. Help me see beyond my limited perspective. And to have courage at the center is to say, now that I've heard, give me the courage to follow. Love is greater than fear. Trust is greater than certainty. And the presence within us is greater than any single voice in our head. Tomorrow morning, those voices will probably be waiting. Goldie will wake up before I do. She'll have opinions and predictions and warnings and worries. She'll probably have a few things she'd like to discuss before I've even had my coffee. But I'll smile, thank her for caring, and then remember, she doesn't have to drive. Go sit in the back of my mind. Open at the top means listening to Spirit. Courage at the center means choosing love and letting Spirit drive. Because the voices in your head may know the road you have traveled, but the voice of the heart knows the possibility of where you are going. You're not here merely to protect yourself from life. You are here to participate in it, to express the divine, to love, to grow, and to awaken. And perhaps the greatest spiritual practice of all is learning to recognize the difference between the voices in your head and then choosing the one that leads you toward greater love. Open at the top, courage at the center, Spirit at the wheel. And so it is.
All right. Everybody, let's stand and let's sing. We are opening up.
Surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are all
It is now time for our offering, the beautiful opportunity to put the law of circulation into practice. Please read with me the offering affirmation in your bulletin. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It's evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Thank you for your generosity. It goes out into the community, it circulates in the center, in the sanctuary, in our lives, in the lives of the community, and we give great thanks for that. So let's take a deep, deep breath as we close this service. Let's become still and know that there is one divine intelligence, one presence, one life, and that intelligence is expressing through each of us. We are not separate from that presence. We are expressions of it. Let us remember the quiet voices beneath all the others, the voice of spirit, the voice of love, reminding us that we are supported, capable, and never truly alone. May we leave here open at the top, willing to listen, receive, and see beyond what we think we already know. Maybe we carry courage at the center, courage to trust what we hear, choose love over fear, and take the next steps even when we cannot see the whole road. We go forth, we trust in spirit to lead the way, we go in love, and we are open at the top with courage at the center and spirit at the wheel. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is. Let's circle up.
God.